Thursday, August 16. Lystra and Derbe. The next place Paul and Barnabas visited was Lystra, an obscure village some 18 miles, about 29 kilometers, southwest of Iconium. Though they spent some time there,
they were aware of it, and fled unto Lystra and Derbe, cities of Lycaonia, and unto the region that lieth round about. And there they preached the gospel.
Acts 14:6 and 7.
And saying, Sirs, why do ye these things? We also are men of like passions with you, and preach unto you, that ye should turn from these vanities unto the living God, which made heaven, and earth, and the sea, and all things that are therein.
Acts 14:15. Luke reports only one story and its developments, the healing of a lame man, probably a beggar, who suffered from that malady from birth. Read Acts 14:5-19. What did their reaction to Paul reveal about just how steeped in ignorance the people were?
And when there was an assault made, both of the Gentiles, and also of the Jews with their rulers, to use them despitefully, and to stone them, they were aware of it, and fled unto Lystra and Derbe, cities of Lycaonia, and unto the region that lieth round about. And there they preached the gospel. And there sat a certain man at Lystra, impotent in his feet, being a cripple from his mother's womb, who never had walked. The same heard Paul speak, who steadfastly beholding him, and perceiving that he had faith to be healed, said with a loud voice, Stand upright on thy feet. And he leaped and walked. And when the people saw what Paul had done, they lifted up their voices, saying in the speech of Lycaonia, The gods are come down to us in the likeness of men. And they called Barnabas Jupiter, and Paul Mercurius, because he was the chief speaker. Then the priest of Jupiter, which was before their city, brought oxen and garlands unto the gates, and would have done sacrifice with the people, which when the apostles Barnabas and Paul heard of, they rent their clothes, and ran in among the people, crying out, and saying, Sirs, why do ye these things? We also are men of like passions with you, and preach unto you, that ye should turn from these vanities unto the living God, which made heaven, and earth, and the sea, and all things that are therein, who in times past suffered all nations to walk in their own ways. Nevertheless he left not himself without witness, in that he did good, and gave us rain from heaven, and fruitful seasons, filling our hearts with food and gladness. And with these sayings scarce restrained they the people, that they had not done sacrifice unto them. And there came thither certain Jews from Antioch and Iconium, who persuaded the people, and having stoned Paul, drew him out of the city, supposing he had been dead.
The crowd was so impressed by the miracle that they mistook Paul and Barnabas for gods. Barnabas for Zeus, the supreme god of the Greek pantheon, and Paul for Hermes, Zeus's attendant and spokesman. In fact, the people wanted to offer them sacrifices. Latin poet Ovid had earlier recorded a legend of these same two gods disguised as humans visiting a town in the same area, the hills of Phrygia, and seeking a place to rest. According to the legend, a humble elderly couple treated them kindly and with hospitality. The rest of the people were indifferent. Because of their kindness and hospitality toward the incognito visitors, the couple had their house transformed into a temple and themselves into priests, while the rest of the town was completely destroyed. Metamorphoses 6:11-7:24, whatever that is. Anyhow, with such a story circulating in this region, the reaction of the people to Paul's miracle comes as no surprise. The story also helps to explain why the crowd assumed that the missionaries were those two gods, and not Asclepius, for example, the god of healing. Paul and Barnabas, however, were able to stop their false worship of themselves. In the end, some opponents from Antioch and Iconium caused a complete reversal of the situation, and Paul was stoned and taken as dead. Read Acts 14:20-26.
Howbeit, as the disciples stood round about him, he rose up, and came into the city, and the next day he departed with Barnabas to Derbe. And when they had preached the gospel to that city, and had taught many, they returned again to Lystra, and to Iconium and Antioch, confirming the souls of the disciples, and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of God. And when they had ordained them elders in every church, and had prayed with fasting, they commended them to the Lord, on whom they believed. And after they had passed through Pisidia, they came to Pamphylia, and when they had preached the word in Perga, they went down into Italia, and thence sailed to Antioch, from whence they had been recommended to the grace of God for the work which they fulfilled.
Where did Paul and Barnabas finish their journey? And what did they do on their way back? Paul said, "We must through many tribulations enter the kingdom of God." Acts 14:22, New King James Version. What does that mean? How have you perhaps experienced what he is saying here? Most importantly, how can you learn to grow in faith from whatever tribulations you are facing? Hello, this is Winston Gilling. Some persons prefer watching or listening to reading. Others are pressed for time and would appreciate a resource to help them get through the lessons, hence these videos. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up and share with others. Also, please subscribe to the channel to be alerted when daily lessons are posted. It also helps me to keep them coming. Thank you.